Here's how to get a full set of Daedric weapons and armor at level 1 in Oblivion Remastered. Both the Daedric weapon and armor sets are also weightless. They can also be enchanted, and they scale with damage and armor resistance as you level up your skills and attributes, making it one of the best early game armor sets to pick up. But there is a difference between the bound armor and the real Daedric armor set, and I'll show you how to get both in this video. Now, if you have level 100 armor skill and you put both these armor sets side by side, you'll see that the Bound Deadric armor set actually offers you the same defensive values as the normal Daedric armor set. The biggest difference is that you can get the Bound Deadric one at level 1, whereas the other one you need to wait until level 20 to obtain. And it's got this awesome magical glowing effect around the armor pieces and weapons. As for the Bound Deadric weapons, they are actually slightly weaker than the real Daedric ones, meaning that the real Daedric weapons are better overall. But obviously you can't get them until level 20, so here's how to get the bound armor and weapons first. And to do this for ourselves, we'll be using a glitch which has existed in the game for over 19 years. And this is going to allow us to get a full set of permanent Bound Deadric armor and weapons. To do this, we must first get some equipment though, so we're going to travel to the Imperial Market District just here on the map. And once you arrive, just head to the right and go onto the line of shops, and here you can find the Mystic Emporium, which sells spells and scrolls. Now you have the option to buy the Summon Skeleton spell in this shop, but if you don't want to use it, you actually don't need to. But it does make the exploit slightly faster. Now we're going to go ahead and leave, and we need to buy some repair hammers. And if you just go ahead and check the crates all throughout the market district, they're going to have some repair hammers in. So just go ahead and search them all, and you end up with around 5 repair hammers or so. If not, you can just go to one of the local blacksmith stores like Slash and Smash, where this ugly ass looking orc is going to sell you some more repair hammers. And you'll probably need about 10 of them. Now, once we've got our supplies, we're actually going to have to fast travel to 5 different locations spread across the map in order to summon the bits of our armor and weapons. So the first location is right here to the northeast from the Imperial City, just where I placed my map marker. So just go ahead and place your map marker in the same place, and then you can reach this location very easily, starting from the Chestnut Handy Stables, just outside the Imperial City. And then from here, we're going to go down the hill, take a right at the bridge, and then just go northwards, following the path, and eventually if you just keep looking north, you'll see the blue runestone on the horizon here. And once you actually reach the stone, we can go ahead and activate it, and that's going to summon a Bound Deadric gauntlet and either a dagger or a mace. Now, if your blade skill is higher, you'll get a Daedric dagger. If your blunt skill is higher, you'll get a Daedric mace. And don't worry, there is another method I'll show you later on how to get both of those items anyway. But this spell effect only works for 5 minutes. So to unlock the Daedric gauntlets and Daedric dagger permanently, here's what you're going to need to do. After you activate the stone, you're going to head eastwards towards Sinkhole Cave, where you're going to find some bandits to kill. And we only need to battle this one guy so that we can damage our weapon on him, and he'll also damage our armor when he attacks us. Alternatively, you could use the Summon Skeleton spell that we got earlier, and if you hit them 3 times, they're then going to attack you back, and you can just stand there and let them damage you. And now after we've taken some damage, go ahead and check your inventory, and you can see that the armor and weapons are slightly damaged. So if we now kill the guy attacking us and then we go to our repair hammers, we can click the hammer and then we get the option to repair our bound weapon. After we repair it, we then unlock the ability to drop it on the floor, which is normally not possible because it's bound to our character. But now we can just drop it on the floor, and then we can go back to our inventory again, and we can see the bound gauntlets are also damaged by the enemy. So we can repair those, and then once it's repaired, just drop it on the floor like the other one. And now we just need to wait 2 in-game hours for the spell effect on the bottom left there to wear off. Now, after those 2 hours, the spell effect stops, but both the Bound Deadric gauntlets and the dagger are still on the floor, even though the spell effect ended. So we're going to pick them both up, and now we have them permanently. They're also obviously weightless. We can store them in a chest. We can even enchant them. And you can do this multiple times, so you have duplicate armor sets with different enchantments. But now you understand how to unlock the bound weapons and armor, I'm going to show you where they're all located. The second location is actually nearby the first one. We're going to go go west from the Imperial City across the bridge here to the town of Wuyan. And just to the south, you're going to find the ruin of Anaskaskal. And then up the hill to the west, you're going to find the next runestone just here where I've placed my map marker. Try and put it around the same place and you can easily spot it once you arrive. From up on the hill where I'm standing, you can see the Imperial City below, and just through the trees you can see Fanakaskal, the Aelid ruin there. And if you go up the hill and under that rope bridge that you see, you'll arrive here near the Shrine of Kinnerath. You'll see the runestone is just next to it. And this is where we can unlock the Bound Cuirass. And also, if your blunt skill is higher, you'll get the Bound Axe. If your blade skill is higher, you're going to get the Bound Two-Handed Daedric Sword. And also, this is one of the few bound weapons that is better than the actual Daedric sword you can get after you reach level 20. Which is kind of crazy that you can get it at level 1, because it basically means we then outscale all the enemies until that point in the game. So you now have 5 minutes to head down to the nearest enemies, which are located in the ruin of Fanakaskal. Just down the hill under the rope bridge, you can find one bandit here. There's also some mud crabs and stuff you can just let attack you, and use those enemies to damage your weapons and armor. Or obviously you can just summon the skeleton. Once you've repaired them and dropped them on the floor, waited a couple of hours, you can then pick them up and we've got those weapons. Great. Now we're on to the third part of the armor set and weapons. Just south of the Arcane University, across the river from Fatback Cave. You see there's a bridge here, and you're going to find the runestone just where my marker is once again. Now once you arrive, you're going to see Fatback Cave there, and then the Imperial City in the distance, and if you just turn around near the bridge, this is the runestone, and we can activate it for the Daedric helmet and Daedric bow. Now this one only lasts for 2 minutes, so you will need to be a little bit faster about making sure you damage both items. And also, if you do mess up, you can just wait 24 hours and then reactivate the runestone and do the helmet first and then do the bow next or something like that. But you will need your own arrows to fire in order to damage the bow. It doesn't matter if you fire them on the floor or at a target, just firing arrows out of this is going to damage the bow. And then if you actually swim across to Fatback Cave, you can see these goblins. You can let them attack you to damage the helmet. Then you can just repair both, drop them, wait an hour, and you'll have them all permanently. And if, like me, you are a connoisseur of Elder Scrolls Oblivion memes, you're going to want to check out the merch that's going to be dropping in a couple of days from the link below in the description. However, to get the rest of the Daedric armor set, the greaves, boots, and shield, we will need to use another method to get them at level 1, because none of the other runestones actually give those specific items out to us. So to do this, we need to go to Coral, which is on the northwest of the map, northwest of the Imperial City, just over here. And once we arrive from the south gate, we can go past this big, beautiful statue here and onwards to the town center where the big tree is. And here you're going to find the Coral Mages Guild. Inside this guild, we want to look for someone called Alberic Litter. And during his working hours, you're going to have the option to purchase spells from him. If he's not here or not selling them, just go ahead and wait some time and then he'll appear. And even if you haven't joined the Mages Guild, he's still going to sell us the bound spells. And we need to buy the bound boots and greaves in order to complete our Daedric bound armor set. He will also sell you the dagger and the axe if you want it too. But interestingly, he won't sell you the bound shield spell at level 1. Instead, if you don't want to use the conjuration spells, you can just buy scrolls from the Mystic Emporium in the Imperial City Market District. Each spell is going to be a few hundred gold, and if you need an unlimited gold farming exploit to get thousands of gold in a few seconds, check out the link below for that. But casting the bound boots can be done at conjuration level 1. However, casting the bound greaves requires conjuration level 50. Now don't worry, the conjuration skill is very easy and quick to level up. You can check out my guide below for all of the fastest ways to level every skill in the game. But now we have the spells and we can cast them, we now need to make the temporary spells permanent, which requires a slightly different strategy, because each spell only lasts 20 to 45 seconds instead of 5 minutes. We want to summon the bound armor, and then we want to let him damage us, and check your inventory to make sure the item is damaged and defeat him, and then we can repair the bound item, drop it, and then wait for the spell to run out and pick it up and keep it permanently. Now the reason we do it like that is because you cannot repair something while in combat. And we're now just going to repeat and rinse this strategy until we have the full bound armor set. But you may be wondering, what is better, the weightless Daedric bound armor set or the full set of actual legit Daedric armor, which you can normally only get at level 20 plus? We'll show you how to get it in a moment, but let's just compare first. If we have level 100 light armor and heavy armor, you can see that side by side, the Daedric armor and the Daedric bound armor have the exact same stats. Like the bound cuirass has 18 armor, so does the Daedric one, and so on. But if you look closely at the bound armor, you'll discover that only the cuirass and the greaves count as being heavy armor. The rest of it is in fact light armor, which scales off your light armor skill. So the helmet, the gauntlets, the boots, the shield are all light armor. Ultimately, if you level up your light armor and heavy armor skills to level 100, like I did, again linked in the guide below, both armor sets are going to provide the same resistance as one another. But things get even more interesting when we compare the Daedric weapons against the Daedric bound weapons, because unlike the armor, the real Daedric weapons are simply better in most cases. I've set my marksman and agility to level 100, and you can see that the bound bow deals 21 damage, but the Daedric bow deals 28 damage. And especially if you've seen my sneak archer build that is able to do 8 times damage on a sneak attack, you'll understand that doing 1/3 more damage is a lot of damage. I've also leveled up my blade skill and agility and strength to level 100, and now you can see the Daedric dagger does 6 more damage than the bound version, and the two-handed Daedric claymore is actually the only exception, where the bound two-handed weapon deals more damage than the actual Daedric weapon. However, since you can only get Daedric armor and weapons at level 20 plus, the bound armor is going to be superior. It also looks cooler, it's weightless, and it can still be enchanted. Now, to actually get Daedric armor, the earliest guaranteed location to find it is located northeast of the Imperial City, along the Red Ring Road, where you'll find the Roxy Inn, just here on the map. This is a little shack location just off the road here, and it actually has the best armor sets in the game, all under one roof. And to actually find the Daedric armor here, you will need to be level 21. If you come here at level 20, you'll still see a bunch of adventurers, one of which has Daedric armor, but she's not wearing the Daedric helmet, so it's not going to be a complete set. And if you kill her and grab that, you will not get the complete Daedric armor set. You'll have to go off to Oblivion Gates and kill higher level vampire enemies in caves and dungeons to finally get yourself that helmet through random loot drops, and I promise you that will take you a lot longer. So instead, we're going to wait until you're level 21, then we're going to travel to the Roxy Inn, and then when you load into the cell, she'll be wearing the full set of Daedric armor this time. You can also find other adventurers in full glass armor with Daedric arrows, a Daedric bow and weapons. The glass armor itself is one of the best light armor sets in Cyrodiil before you go to the DLC, which is included in Oblivion Remastered anyway. The stats will of course scale off your light and heavy armor skills, and if you want to reach level 100 fast in your armor skills, check out the video linked below on how to do that AFK. And if you're worried about actually killing these guys, it is worth attacking them and just receiving the bounty, but you could also use like a frenzy spell where they just attack one another.